What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, I'm going to take a deep dive into building a team versus building a brokerage versus building a revenue share organization. Stand by for the next episode of the HyperFast Show. All right, welcome back to the HyperFast Show. Today, I'm going to look at the differences between building a team versus a brokerage versus a revenue share group. The last, of which has been around the shortest amount of time, and I think, the least amount of people probably out there know about it, right? Everyone's heard of building a real estate team. Everyone's heard of building a brokerage. That model's been around for 100 years. Now there's this whole new thing, revenue share group, and I've been blessed to have been able to have built all three of those, right? I started off as a real estate agent, built a team that I, later merged when I met my wife, Keri, merged with her team. We went on to build what was the number 4 team in the world at Keller Williams. Then we went on to build a brokerage. And there's different types of brokerages that you can build. We built what a lot of people refer to as a teamerage. It was a brokerage for our team. That is, I think, one of 2 models you can build as a brokerage owner, right? And then now there's revenue share group, which I've been building for the last 18 months at eXp Realty. There's other choices out there as well now, other bootleg models, if you will. So there's a lot of different options. And today I'm gonna kind of go through the pros and cons of building each and just show you some of the different things, like considerations, cost to run, time to run, financial freedom, geographic freedom, scalability, sale ability, all of that. So I'm going to share my screen, actually, for those of you that are watching on YouTube. All right, there's a column here. What will each model do for you, right? There's the team model, the brokerage model, the network model. So I'll leave that up while I'm discussing. But the team model, I think that's probably where most people start, right? They get successful at sales, hit 200, 250 GCI, then go out and hire admin. If they scale from there, hire agents and build a team. Traditional team model has been, typically a rainmaker, right? Leader that can generate more leads than the leader can handle. So now the leader has leads that can be dispersed to, anywhere from like 5 to 50 agents, or there's even bigger teams out there now, right? That are on like the Zillow Flex model and that kind of thing. So that's the team model, right? Brokerage model, right? There's a brokerage model, like I said before. There's the teamerage, right, where you build a brokerage just for your team. That can be really profitable if your team model is profitable. Okay, depending on the market, right? Right now, a lot of people in that model are challenged. Now, the other model, the last model, is the revenue share group, right? Which eXp pioneered, is the clear leader in, and now there's some other variants of it out there, but the revenue share model rewards you for bringing agents to a brokerage, right? However, unlike the team model, you're not necessarily responsible to generate them leads, and unlike the brokerage model, you're not their broker, right? So we'll walk through kind of the different things that you need to consider and pros and cons, right? So first, overhead, right? Teams, I think this is like medium to high. You have to, when you look at the revenue versus the expenses to run it, right? Especially if you're the team model where you're generating leads for your team. Brokerage model, super, super high. Network model, revenue share group, right? Very low. They're very low. And then we'll kind of, that dovetails in the next thing with profit margins, right? With teams, if you run a small team, right, where you're still in production, because of your own production, you can keep the margins high. You can keep them in 50%, maybe even a little higher if you're doing a lot of the production. But as you add team members, okay, typically that's going to increase your cost of sale to 50%, and then you have expenses after that. So a lot of the really well-run team models, right? Or at 20, 25% margin, maybe even less, right? Depending on size and what the economy is doing and the productivity per agent. Brokerage model, margins super, super low, single digits, if that, right? A lot of brokerages, most brokerages, in fact, are negative, right? And I don't care if you're a large publicly traded brokerage or like a small boutique with 20 agents. Most are negative, even like the boutiques with 20, 30 agents. A lot of times they're negative, but the team, the broker owner's production mask that, right? In other words, the broker owner might produce 300 GCI, but profit 250, right? So what does that mean? Well, that means running the brokerage costs 50 grand, right? And that came out of the broker owner's production. So brokerage model, extremely low margins. How about the network revenue share group margins, profit margins that are very high, right? Like just take, for example, EXP, your startup cost is $149, your monthly cost is $85. Money that comes in from revenue share has no expenses against it, right? Now you can hire an admin to help you manage it and grow it faster, right? You can pour money into like marketing and other programs to grow it faster. So you can spend money on it, but at the same time, you can run it at almost 100% margin if you wanted. Leverage, right? What's the leverage you get? Well, I think in a team you get medium leverage, right? Depending on who you hire, how you set it up. Brokerages, above average. How about network marketing model? Yeah, very, very high. Why? Because all of the admin stuff, right? Broker stuff is handled by the company. And then as your group grows, the amount of people you have that recruit to build their own, groups while building yours grows. So super, super high leverage. How about income potential? You can make 7 figures in the team model. We did that for 8 years in a row. You can make it in the brokerage model primarily if you're running it as a teamerage, right? To make 7 figures in the non-teamerage model means you're going to have to get to hundreds and hundreds of agents, probably while leveraging ancillary services, right? So you could get the 7 figures in that model with hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of agents. Reality is, though, if you are running the brokerage model outside of the teamerage type and you do get the 7 figures, it's probably coming from ancillary services. Network model is people that have hit 8 figures in it. All right. How about expanding? Well, it's difficult to expand teams into other markets. Very difficult. Same with a brokerage. Network model, revenue share model, very easy, right? You just sign up agents in those areas, right? Let them plug into like the training and benefits you offer. How about the freedom level? I think in teams it's low to medium, right? Because you are a key person. I think most teams the freedom level is probably low. Maybe some that hire really, really great managers and leaders that can get the medium. Brokerage model, medium. How about the revenue share group? Very high. It's very, very high. Like in our revenue share group, we do hours of group training every week, but these agents that they're high producing solo agents, team leaders that we're helping grow their business. So the freedom level is very high there. I think in terms of geographic freedom of time, you're going to get the most out of the network model, the revenue share group model. Now, how about selling it? Team, not a really sellable asset. Brokerage, a little bit better than a team. But in this market right now, the 2024 market, multiples aren't great on it. Teams and small brokerage multiples typically are going to be like the 1 to 1.2, right? So that means you're going to get like 1 year's of income maybe if you sell it. And what about the network model? I think it's very, very high, right? Very, very high. Probably way easier to sell, way easier to get a loan. So when you look at all of the advantages, right? When you look at all of the advantages, I think it's pretty clear that the network model, right? If you're going to add value to agents, right, which is what you do if you're running a team, that's what you do if you're running a brokerage. If you're going to add value to agents, help them sell more homes, doing it in a network, right? Revenue share group, I think, makes a lot more sense. I think it's a lot more scalable, a lot less risk, a lot less liability. It can grow way bigger than you. Just all these things that I wish I saw years ago instead of just 18 months ago, while running a really large team and a really large brokerage. So I think there's just so many advantages in this network model, especially on the EXP platform. Why EXP? Well, we've been around the longest. We are the only profitable large publicly traded brokerage, right? We are majority founder / agent owned. And these things give us advantages. You might say, why does it matter if I'm at a competitor where the owner only owns 3% and the hedge fund owns 45%, or why does it matter if my brokerage doesn't make money? Well, if they don't make money, they're gonna have to change something, right? They're gonna have to reduce the revenue share payouts, reduce the benefits, or increase fees, increase caps, or restrict your ability to go out and do ancillary businesses, right? And it's not gonna be their choice. It's gonna be the PE firms that own them. Whereas EXP has already had to make a lot of hard choices, majority owned by founders and the agents at the company, right? So we control it. And you add all that up and you want to have security, right? Because the biggest con with the revenue share group is like you don't control it like you do a team or brokerage. So it could change, right? So if that's the biggest con of it, you can mitigate that a lot by going somewhere that's already proven to work at scale. And the only choice there really is EXP. The other cool thing about EXP is we are allowed, unlike some of our competitors, to offer value to the agents we bring on. So we can, if you're sponsored by myself or Keri or another agent in our group, we can give you our training for free. We can give you our courses for free. We can, give you the coaching that other people pay $30,000 a year to get, just because we know it'll help you grow and help you attract others that will also grow. So if you want to learn more about partnering with Keri, Shaw, and I at EXP, and having billion-dollar agents at your side, having agents that have grown in all the different models out there, team, brokerage, rev share groups, right? If those are the kind of partners you want to have to help you build your business, help you build your passive residual income, I'd love to talk. All you need to do, text me, 703-638-4393. Again, send me a text message at 703-638-4393. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode of the HyperFast Show, and I will see you next time.